Welcome to today's video, where we'll be discussing the differences between credit cards and debit cards. Both types of cards are widely used, but they serve different purposes and come with different advantages and disadvantages. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of which type of card is right for you and your financial situation. What are credit cards and debit cards? Credit cards and debit cards are two types of plastic cards that can be used to make purchases, but they work differently. Debit cards are linked directly to your checking account, which means that when you make a purchase, the money is deducted from your account immediately. On the other hand, credit cards allow you to borrow money from a lender to make purchases, and you have to pay back the borrowed amount with interest. Pros and cons of debit cards. Let's start with debit cards. One of the biggest advantages of debit cards is that they allow you to spend only the money you have, which means you won't go into debt. Debit cards are also convenient because you can use them to withdraw cash from ATMs or make purchases at most retailers. Another advantage of debit cards is that they usually have lower fees than credit cards, which can save you money in the long run. However, there are some downsides to using a debit card. For one, if you lose your card or it gets stolen, you may not have access to your funds until the issue is resolved. Additionally, some debit cards have daily spending limits, which can be a problem if you need to make a large purchase. Finally, unlike credit cards, debit cards don't offer rewards programs, so you won't earn cash back or points for your spending. Pros and cons of credit cards. Now let's take a look at credit cards. One of the biggest advantages of credit cards is that they offer more protection than debit cards. If you have a problem with a purchase, you can dispute it with the credit card company, and they may refund your money. Additionally, credit cards often come with rewards programs, which can allow you to earn cash back, points, or miles for your spending. Another advantage of credit cards is that they can help you build credit if you use them responsibly. By making your payments on time and keeping your balance low, you can improve your credit score, which can help you qualify for better interest rates on loans and mortgages. However, there are some downsides to using a credit card. One of the biggest risks is that if you don't pay off your balance in full each month, you'll accrue interest and end up paying more for your purchases in the long run. Additionally, credit cards often have higher fees than debit cards, including annual fees, balance transfer fees, and cash advance fees. Finally, if you're not careful with your credit card spending, you could end up with a lot of debt that can be difficult to pay off. Which card is right for you? Now that we've looked at the pros and cons of both debit and credit cards, let's talk about which one is right for you. If you're someone who struggles with debt, a debit card may be the best option because it will help you control your spending and avoid going into debt. However, if you're someone who pays off your balance in full each month and wants to earn rewards for your spending, a credit card may be a better option. It's also worth noting that you don't have to choose between credit and debit cards. You can use both. Many people use a debit card for their everyday expenses, like groceries and gas, and a credit card for larger purchases, like vacations or home repairs. This strategy can help you maximize the benefits of both types of cards while avoiding their respective drawbacks. Tips for using credit and debit cards responsibly. No matter which type of card you choose, it's important to use them responsibly to avoid getting into financial trouble. Here are some tips for using credit and debit cards responsibly. Set a budget. Before you start using your cards, create a budget that includes all of your monthly expenses and income. This will help you avoid overspending and ensure that you can pay your bills on time. Monitor your accounts. Keep track of your card balances and transactions to make sure that there aren't any unauthorized charges or errors. You can do this by logging into your online banking or credit card account regularly. Pay your bills on time. Late payments can lead to fees, interest charges, and damage to your credit score. Make sure you pay at least the minimum amount due on your credit card bill each month and always pay your bills on time. Don't carry a balance. If you use a credit card, try to pay off your balance in full each month to avoid accruing interest charges. If you can't pay your balance in full, make sure you pay more than the minimum amount due to reduce your interest charges. Avoid cash advances. Cash advances on credit cards usually come with high fees and interest rates, so it's best to avoid them unless you have no other options. So, to summarize, both credit cards and debit cards have their advantages and disadvantages. Debit cards are good for controlling spending and avoiding debt, while credit cards offer more protection and rewards. The best card for you depends on your financial situation and spending habits. Remember to use your cards responsibly by setting a budget, monitoring your accounts, paying your bills on time, avoiding carrying a balance, and avoiding cash advances. By following these tips, you can make the most of your cards and avoid getting into financial trouble. Thank you for watching today's video, and don't forget to subscribe for more financial tips and advice.